A very good morning to all of you. Today I am going to start a new nosode or another nosode, medurinum. Medurinum is prepared from gonorrheal discharge and it was introduced, this nosode was introduced by Swan. Okay. Now, it bears the same relation. This nosode bears the same relation to the deep-seated psychotic chronic affections of the spinal and sympathetic nervous system that Surayanam does to deep-seated affections of skin and mucous membrane. So that's why it is known to be a powerful and deep-acting medicine which is often indicated for chronic ailments due to suppressed gonorrhea. If there is any history of suppressed gonorrhea, then this medicine could be given. Okay, if the cause is suppressed gonorrhea, it is one of the psychotic medicine, and that's why we give this medicine in constitution, psychotic constitution. Now, the three things which are very important in medurinum: number one, guilt; the second, insecurity and fear. So now the guilt is found also in Thuza. Yes, but the three things which are important with Thuza are guilt, number one, egotism, are four. But here it is insecurity and fear. So that means this medurinum has a little bit of tubercular 10, which is not seen in Thuza. Thuza is pure psychotic, fully developed psychotic. And this is a kind of course it's a psychotic, but along with tubercular tendencies. Now the guilt, insecurity and fear, these are the three basic things which could be seen in medurinum patients. Now that's why, because of the tubercular tent, this medurinum, the emphasis is more on destructive urges and feelings of insecurity rather than tendency for proliferation, which is seen in Thuza. Okay. Now, if we want to understand medurinum, it must be very clear to all of you that there is one point which we need to understand is extreme in excess. So let me clear it. That means profusion and inversions. These are the two things which are seen in same patient. It's not like profusion like there are psychotic miasm or the psychotic constitution. They have two types of psychotic mentals. Number one, they are extroverted, impulsive, overexcited, all this kind of, they are expressive psychotics. And second are like natrum. Yes, suppression, there is suppression. So profusion and inversion when seen in a same person, this is medurinum. Okay, so extremes in excess. So you can see this extrovert blue color, introvert is a red color. So it's either blue, either red. There is no intermediate color in between. Okay, so what profusion? So profusion in profusion extremes, if the patient is in profusion, then he will be extroverted, which is generally seen in medurinum adults. They are very impulsive, overexcited, aggressive, all psychotic, very forceful, high sexual desire. Yes, there is of course it's a venereal disease, gonorrhea, as it's coming from a gonorrheal discharge. So according to doctrinal signature also, there is high sexual desire could be seen in these patients. Now inversions, if there is inversion, it will be seen as suppression. Now they don't express themselves, very shy, timid, reserved, loss of emotions. Now they're no more emotional, they will not weep, they will not express themselves. Then mental power, absent-minded, then forgetful. All these things, dullness of mind, all these things are inversion. Now this extremes either no, so these patients have bipolar characters, That's why it's a very important remedy for schizophrenia and bipolar disorders. At one end they are very extrovert, another end they are very introvert. Yes, so sometimes they are very aggressive and sometimes they are very sensitive. So this is the thing which is very important with medurinum. Now next, now extreme in excess. Now you can see in this picture that this child is fond of animals. They are very much attached, very much sympathetic for animals. Yes, they love their dogs. I love my dog. Very careful for their animals. They're fond of their dogs. And another moment you will see, they were very cruel to them. Look at the boy kicking the dog, kicking his dog. So such extremes, there is no intermediate phase. So either they love, they hate. Okay. In the next picture you can also see they are very aggressive or hard, or very sensitive person, highly sensitive. You will say when they get hurted and all kinds of sensitivity develops in them. Now another very important character of this remedy is hurriedness. Yes, hurriedness, the restlessness. This hurriedness is in speech also. This hurriedness is in working also. So when he starts doing anything, he is in a great hurry. Okay, so when doing anything, he is in such a hurry that he gets fatigued. So if there is any deadline given to him, he will come under pressure and cannot think straight. He cannot think straight. So that's an important characteristic of medurinum. Again, psychotic medicine. All psychotics are restless and they are very hurried. Now, another phase, as we have talked about, all excitements, aggressiveness. Yes. So in next extreme, again the psychotic symptoms like mental weakness. So mental weakness is seen in most of the psychotic neurons. Now, this weakness of mind is very important again. They cannot remember names or initial letters. Okay. Even they cannot spell correctly. That is the biggest problem of medurinum patient. They cannot spell correctly. Yes. They lose the thread of conversation. So that means there is loss of expression. Now they have suppressed the things inside, and due to that sometimes they loses their thread of conversation. There is great difficulty in stating the symptoms, so we have to repeat the question again and again so that he can answer properly. Very difficult for them to express themselves. Now, mental dullness, because of such kind, if there is mental dullness, there is a great desire to procrastinate. Yes, this desire to procrastinate is again an important symptom of medurinum patients. So another remedy is lycopodium. Why they say I'll do it tomorrow? Why this procrastinate? Why they are? This is because they feel that they will not able to finish their work on time. So in this picture you can see uh, now it's 2 o'clock and we have an appointment of 4:30, so I think it is too late to start any work at that point, so we'll do it tomorrow. And that is the nature of this patient, because the reason why they delay the things or they procrastinate is just because business seem too lasting. Means they have a kind of mental weakness, mental dullness, and there is a fear that they will not able to, you know, complete their work on time. So there is, no need to start that work, and there is no need to start that work. We'll do it tomorrow. So that's the thinking. That's the thinking. In lycopodium, there is a loss of confidence, and that's why the patient uh, delays. But here, the problem is with mental dullness, mental weakness, and that fear is inside the patient that he will not able to complete that task on time, and that's why he's very hurried whenever any deadline is given to this patient. Yes, so that's why, due to this mental dullness, when they are very hurried, or if they set any timeline, or uh, and this kind of things causes irritability in him. So any kind of mental exertion, if it's reading, writing, makes him or her irritable. Yes. So now he is well aware that I am forgetful. Yes, I have mental dullness. So he starts detailing everything. That means he's so frightened of making a mistake that he makes detailed note of everything, even unimportant things. Yes, very important character. Because of this hurriedness, because of this mental dullness, desire to procrastinate, another symptom comes in this patient, that is disorientation of time. So disorientation of time is like this time seems to pass too slowly because of his hurried nature. So what happens here? His perception of time becomes distorted. That means the past event that once seemed to rush through his life are now remembered as if they had happened over a longer time span. Time seems to pass too slowly. So you can understand. Now, because of this disorientation of time, now there is feeling of unreality. This delusion that everything is unreal, as if he is in a dream. Mood swings are seen in this patient also. Yes, we have many medicines for mood swings. Metronym is one of them, but the specific character of metronym is they are very specific, time bound. These mood swings are time bound. Okay, there is alteration of happiness and gloominess. They are crossed during day, cheerful in evening. So this people or this Mediterranean person are generally night person. They love evening. They love going out. They're very passionate. Okay, very passionate, very passionate. So this mood swings depends on time. Very cross during day and very cheerful in evening. Okay. Now again weeping. Weeping is one of the tendency, not very expressive. So profusion, as I told you in my first slide, profusion in any form. Here the patient is so much expressive. He cannot speak without weeping, sad, tearful and fearful. So when you ask him about his health, he will start weeping. Okay. Or there may be despair of recovery. So at one moment he is very expressive, and consolation emulates weeping. He cannot speak anything, you know, cannot speak without weeping. And of course, consolation emulates, weeping emulates the complaints. Next moment you can find there is despair of recovery. Now these patients are hopeless of recovery, suicidal disposition is there. Now these patients now become very self-centered, very selfishness. There is a kind of selfishness now. Okay, there is no problem if I go to heaven or hell, I don't mind. This kind of feeling is in patient. Now another important character again. anticipatory anxiety. You know, this anticipatory anxiety is one of the marked character of Mediterranean patients. They anticipate death, always anticipating, feels mature sensitively before they occur and generally correct. They anticipate events, they anticipate death. Because of this anticipatory anxiety, there is fear. Fear of death, fear of darkness, fear of bad news, fear of cancer, fear of disease, fear of becoming insane. All kind of fear is just because of their anticipatory anxiety. Yes, there are different types of delusions. This fear gives rise to different delusions that somebody is behind him. And this patient sometimes they feel that somebody has whispered and they say come. So delusion persons come in, look at her, whisper and say come. So these delusions are really important. And the reason behind this delusion again is anticipatory. It starts with anticipatory anxiety and ultimately causes fear, delusion, different kind of delusion. And once there is delusion, fear, these patients become very anxious, nervous. They're extremely sensitive, so sensitive that they stare at the least sound. They wake up frightened at night. So much of fear inside. So this kind of sensitivity could be seen in the patients. Okay. Now, I think mental picture is quite clear to all of you. Nosodes is a very important medicine, as well as, of course, it's a psychotic medicine, and symptoms are very important, and especially the mental symptoms are very important. So in this video I am going to tell only the mentals and Mediterranean child, because it's a very lengthy medicine. We cannot do it in one video. So next part we will discuss keynotes and particulars. So this time in this video I have discussed mentals, and now I am going to discuss Mediterranean child also. These children, they are pale complexion. The complexion is pale, they are rachitic, tends towards marismus and stunted in growth. So they are not very bulky like Thusa, they are very lean and thin, stunted in growth, rachitic child. And if you find this type child along with a family history of gonorrhea, definitely this medicine works wonderfully. Now, chronic diarrhea and adenoids, they are suffering from this kind of diseases like adenoids, could be their conjunctivitis or herpetic eruptions with sweaty face, or there may be childhood asthma. Now, this child again, same problem. There can be mental dullness, there is loss of confidence, and because of loss of confidence, they are very timid, like Baritaka. So mentally and physically, their growth is stunted. They are not physically well developed, not mentally well developed. There is dullness and mental weakness. Again, an important character of psychotic medicine. Very fearful child. Again, there is fear of anxiety, feels too uneasy to sleep, wakes up frightened. Yes. Nail biting. Yes, this is very important. Nail biting. Sometimes we find this nail biting in adults also. Very important. Now this child again has everything is in extremes in like Mediterranean. So in childhood, again this character is present in this kind of kids. They are hyperactive, very moody, rebellious. They will not follow the rules. They are wild. Tempers are rose in day and playful in evening. Yes, mood swings. Day very cross, very cheerful in evening. Same in kids also. Now, Again, hyperactive, moody, or they may be very dull, mental weakness, forgetfulness, cannot spell properly. Everything, whatever we have seen in mental picture in adults and child, in children you can find the same. Now, again one important symptoms, early masturbation, yes, high sex desire, as I told you, according to the kind of signature also, this medicine, that uh, it comes from gonorrhea discharge. So high sexual desire is seen throughout the medicine. They are very antisocial. So there is a kind of antisocial behavior, very aggressive all psychotic features. Bright diaper rash in babies, the whole diaper ration. Then again, nocturnal enuresis. They pass a very enormous quantity of ammoniacal high colored urine in bed. And if the well selected remedies fail and there is a history of psychosis, it works. This peculiar position, sleeping posture, the sleeping knee elbow position, genopectoral position. Yes, it's very important for position for medullary patient. Even in adults also you can find. And they feel better. Even in asthma, they feel better while lying in genopectoral position. Very important.